This is my first public video in quite a while. However, we've been making more content than ever within the private community. Here's what we're going to discuss today. We'll start off with a bang and discuss community events. Real quick. We had a trading challenge where the challenge was get 10 in a row. 10 green closed trades after fees in a row. I got 20 in a row and one person beat me. Not only did that VIP within the community beat me, he spanked me. So we weren't going for dollar value. We were going for in a row. It could even be a $1 profit trade. It didn't matter. 50 freaking 2 in a row, mostly trading VRA, just over and over and over using methods that we use in the community. And just yesterday, that same person was on. He's like, yeah, joined other communities and just joining this one has been by far the most helpful. So I'm glad that not only have been helpful for at least him and other people, but I'm really glad you were able to spank me like that. That is impressive. Good job. So if you're interested in learning how to do that kind of stuff and you want to be able to spank me in a competition sometime in the near future, go ahead and join the community. The links are down below. My Twitter link, though, if you see it down there, I got permanently suspended. I'm not for sure why still. So that's not active, but let's jump into the other parts of the agenda that we're going to do today. Let's get it. All right, that was one of the more major community events. I don't know if I have my 20 on here, but this was my, that's a little too big. So this is my real P&L over the last 2 days. You can see the dates, the exact times, it's all connected. So I've been on a pretty good roll, right? So I started off a little shaky a couple days ago on the 20th. 21st, I really started getting on a roll. And so look at this. This is like a snapshot of my stuff. I'm not signed into my KuCoin. I would pull that up, but you all know who have been on my channel before. I pull up my KuCoin, my public account, and show you literally all my trades, my bad ones. So since I took the snapshot, I did try to hit a home run, and I had a $100 loss. All right, so I tried to hit a home run, but I capped out at a $100 loss. So I gave back probably a third of all these gains, maybe even a 40% of all these gains again. So I got on a roll, got 20 in a row, I gave half of it back. I got on a roll with all of this 2 days in a row, I gave about 40% of it back. And so in the community, what we're trying to do right now is with some of these events, I am essentially trying to take bad habits that I have and things that make me lose money. And so every time I have a big mistake, I show them exactly what I did. And we're going to do that today. So you can see exactly what we're doing within the community and how people are learning. And so let's get into, that was my P&L, my successes and losses. Okay. So my successes you just saw, I haven't taken another snapshot of my 2 recent losses. One is like $7. It's the Zilliqa. I tried it twice. I usually try to short twice a coin, then I give up if I'm wrong. So I was wrong twice in a row, but I was only wrong by 0.4 of a percent, 0.4 of 1%. And I want to show you how I lost money. And I just forgot a simple rule that I stress to my community over and over and over. And if one were to look at my daily updates on Discord, I even broke a rule, just not thinking about it, a rule that I show them a lot, a structural rule. Yes, that was me, Kevin. I had a small clip of him, and sometimes when other YouTubers provide amazing content, I will share that with my community, but it's free traffic for him. So you can see some triangle shapes in here. Some of the, we are busy as ever, right? We are really, you can see the dates on this stuff. So I'm making daily update videos, like they're getting something every day. So even though Bitcoin has been bouncing up, the relative strength has been reducing. So I just let everybody know, hey, this could really tank. So let me show you. It's what I missed and forgot is more representative of what you are seeing here. And I want to show you just like $100 difference. Had I just not been a crypto crackhead, trading before a real lower high. So let me show you my $100 loss on Zilliqa. All right, here we go. It is a little complex, actually. It's slightly complex if you look at it at a fundamental standpoint, because China unbanned crypto. That might have caused that little micro pump yesterday that essentially got me out of the trade. And on Bitcoin, that is. God, there it goes down. Man, you gotta be kidding me. So it stopped me out and then went down. Yeah, that's how it works sometimes, but it was my fault. Like no one attacked me. You know, it wasn't like trading a coin with almost no liquidity. Let me get rid of the scrolling stuff. Sorry. It's not like trading a coin with almost no liquidity. For example, ICP on futures, not spot. Alice or just other coins that aren't heavily traded on futures. You really can't, a human can't trade them because they're just going to go attack your stops. But here I was simply wrong, and I want to show you exactly what I did and what cost me. I don't know, it's probably 10% loss on my account, overall account. However, in the last 3 weeks, that public account is about 17% up. 17% gains in 3 weeks, that's still pretty good. It was 26 before my big loss. All right, relatively big loss. $100 isn't a lot, but the percentage is. So let's go into exactly how I screwed up and what I didn't do. Okay, I'm on the 15-second chart. That might be a little too small. All right, so on Zilliqa, the reason I messed up, oddly enough, is not on this chart. All right, now, I was trying to short over here. I thought this was going to be a lower high. I was very confident. This is what stopped me out. I should have probably tried to short this trend line that connects the wick highs, right? So that's not what I missed though. Within this chart, that would have been a clue, but I was going for a lower high, right? But I picked a coin that was raging up. That might have been one of my first mistakes. But the major mistake that I made was, if a coin has been pumping, an altcoin has been pumping up when Bitcoin's relative strength seems to be rolling over, and thus price might begin forming lower highs, not aggressively dump, but begin, you might trade short more than long. When that begins to happen, a lot of times an altcoin that was very recently hot, if Bitcoin does not flash crash and just kind of floats downward but doesn't crash, that coin will keep going because the buyers aren't as interested in Bitcoin, and so they're kind of ignoring it. It would take a flash crash to make this turnaround instantly. So that's my first observation, but I knew that going in, and I've been dissecting this, like, how did I mess up? Like, what did I miss? So my team leader, Carl, he mentioned China going back online could have caused that little pump. That probably wouldn't have happened otherwise. Okay, but I don't like excuses. Like, what did I do wrong, right? What did I do? And it's just so simple. And a lot of times you see me do this stuff and it's so easy, right? But trading is easy if you let it be. And I just didn't, and that's not my quote. I'm stealing that from another crypto YouTuber. It's a good phrase though. But I didn't let it be easy. And so I want to show you. All right, here we go. Let's get rid of that guy. I'm going to go, this is Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart, very clean chart, right? Just Bitcoin was over here. Somewhere over here. I think I started getting interested in shorting altcoins about at that rejection. Okay, this is not my fancy, sexy chart. I simplified this just so you can see what I'm getting ready to do. I don't want to confuse any new viewers by having fancy, colorful stuff on here, like in the daily updates. So my general strategy here, knowing that these are micro horizontals, were priced within this micro range, like 5 minutes and 1 minute candles for the for the period of 3 or 4 days, where they're mostly bouncing and they are turning around on a dime as they interact with these levels. So I thought after this rejection, hey, Bitcoin might really roll over down to at least 22,300, not a huge drop, but I was expecting some type of pullback. However, what I didn't do was what I always tell my community members. Wait, be more patient. Price almost always hits a 45-degree angle to its most recent local high. When you draw a 45-degree projector tool, you look left, so usually this horizontal's not here. You draw that, and then you look left, look for the most obvious horizontal. Don't put a line, put a box, a rectangle through it, because it's a range. Like, it is not, like, Bitcoin is not dealing with just lines anymore. It's a box. And so I would assume that I would want a retest of this area before I'm interested in shorts, because although this is a nasty pullback, what happens after that? You got a retest where you broke down. And I didn't wait for that. And so I got stopped out and lost my $100 as Zilliqa went up when Bitcoin made its lower high. I just didn't wait for a Bitcoin lower high. Zilliqa had a nice lower high, and Bitcoin was really starting to kind of look bearish, but I forgot to wait. Did it hit my projector tool perfectly? No, but that's why you look left. Usually, though, lower highs will hit somewhere in the space. Usually. Almost always, really. But this one was a little weaker, right? But its reaction, because Zilliqa was so kind of still hot, if you go down to the 15-second chart here on this graph on the index. This is why, is it? It's right. It was last night, Wednesday. It was right here. This was China coming online. So this was what it did to make a lower high, but it was rather aggressive. So if you view it on a tiny, tiny, tiny chart, even though this was a not very hyper, bullish lower high or anything, but when you look at it on this, the candles really, really started screaming. So if an altcoin's buyers are not ready to give up and they're seeing this happen on Bitcoin, even though it's a puny little lower high if you zoom out, I didn't wait for this. It's that simple. And again, these are 15-second candles. Very, 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 very micro time frames. But I want you to be able to see like how this actually happens, because similar to how quantum mechanics really are the fundamental laws of the universe for the most part, or at least the quantum people think they are. But this is the quantum world, like electrons and stuff like that, right? These 15-second candles. And that is how I lost $100 being silly, forgetting something super simple, something that I stress so much. And that's why, within the community, I'm not always producing new ideas, even though I do a lot. That's why I have a community, because I do a lot of novel things. But that's not my fault. I don't mean to do it. I have ideas, right? And like a trading wheel, for example, some of you have seen it. Hopefully not very many of you, because it's mine. It's proprietary. And it's never been done before, right? But outside of that, though, not to try to like pat myself on the back or whatever, in trading, you actually don't need to reinvent wheels. Pun intended with the trading wheel. You don't need to do that. You can stay with very principled trading. Just principled trading only. Nothing fancy. Hitting singles. But to hear the principled ideas over and over and over, but to visualize it in a different way, that's really what you're trading junior and for next bull run. You need to be listening to the same concepts that keep you safe over and over and over. Why? Because when you start seeing green candles, or when you're in loss and you want to get it all back, or when you're in a gains and you get excited, if you have not trained yourself to hear the principled ideas over and over and over, not novel, not new stuff, just simple, set stops. Don't move your stops in the wrong direction further in loss, just because price is getting close, stuff like that, right? Which is a bad habit I used to have, a very bad habit. And it took me 2 years to get off of that. Just let my stops do their work. Like, man, that was such a hard habit to break. It was so hard. And so I'm trying to take all the bad habits I've had, align it with a principled trading idea, and then just hash them over there. I mean, let's say they're like 20 total or 50 total, right? We're just recycling those principled ideas mixed with some novel ideas, but within the principled recycle ideas, we're visualizing them a little bit differently with different triangles and shapes, and essentially trying to Sesame Street ideas so it's visually obvious. And my community, since we've been doing this, has had a lot of paradigm shifts. Several people have had paradigm shifts in how they're trading. And as you just saw, 52 green trades in a row was one VIP. It's pretty impressive stuff like that. I don't know if he'll ever be able to do that again, like that, or anybody. Like, that's hard. I don't know if I could ever do that. 52 in a row is insane. Jeez, man, it's crazy. So I'm really proud of him, by the way. Like, that's some serious stuff. Okay, now let's take a look at our agenda. So I don't get sidetracked. All right, and so what we are dealing with here in the price analysis. So that's how I lost my money. All right, now let's go to a chart that I have all set up. Okay, this is no longer relevant. All right, I'm gonna zoom out to the 30-minute chart. Nope, 1 hour chart. There we go. Bitcoin 1 hour chart. So here's what we have going on. This is a perfect visualization of what relative strength decreasing really looks like. So I can already tell from big pump consolidation, smaller pump, but a very bullish consolidation, very healthy pullback, but then even another small pump that didn't go very far, right? And so you could see that if you just literally go like this to the next pump, it's way smaller. This is way smaller. So the strength of the bulls' rush is reducing, but there's an easier way to view it. And this has kind of been a hit in my community because I just realized I can explain it this way, and it seemed to stick. So I'm giving you really good free information that has been blocked off to the public. So I made my community private. All right, so here is what I am talking about. Let's get rid of all these. There's an easier way to envision relative strength even without the RSI indicator, okay? And if RSI doesn't make sense to you, it's just waning strength, right? It's almost like a bench press. If you put on weights and you think you can do it about 10 times, right? Well, the first 5, you're gonna pump them fast. 6, 7, a little harder. 8, 9, even harder, you're slowing down. 10, you're like, and finally you fail and you have a spotter. That's what's happening over here. It's the same thing. And if you're new to my channel, I've used that analogy for probably 2 years. And people really like that. Like, it's literally like exercising a heavy lift, one in which you can do about 10 reps. And it's that journey of the muscles, wearing themselves out. They need more energy. They need a rest. They need to get rid of the lactic, the buildup of the acid. I'm not for sure what type of, is it lactic acid, uric acid? I'm not for sure, but get rid of all that till the muscles can go. And that's what's happening here. But instead of muscles and healing, it's more like the bulls need to see how strong the bears will react after they stop buying. That's pretty much what's happening. But when they stop doing that and then they return to buy after they see, okay, the bears didn't try to take control as we bullishly pulled back. But even with that, their push up is less and less confident. Or what could be happening is the buy pressure could be staying the same or even increasing, but it's the sell pressure or the profit taking pressure each move up, which is what's slowing it down. But it doesn't matter. It would be the same either way. The relative strength is decreasing. Here is how to visualize this. So if you look left, okay, usually big breakouts not only go above whatever would be considered an up high horizontal, like a local high. Once you break a horizontal of a local high, you usually accelerate. That's just how price typically works. So here, I guess the algos thought this was they thought this was the horizontal to break. But not only do real breakouts accelerate from some obvious point like that, where you touch, so let me zoom in. So, this might not be obvious to a lot of you. So you see how a lot of these wicks here, it turned around on a dime, went up, turned around on a dime, went up, turned around on a dime, went up, turned around on a dime, up, turn. So this is the area where you have most of that, right? Which means it's where the battle is. That's where, so for example, in my community, I've been using this analogy a lot too. Imagine like a couple drunk dudes in a bar, but it's their home bar. Like they go there a lot. They probably have seen each other, maybe never fought before, but they're drunk and doing stupid shit. So they like the bar. If they want to fight, they're going to take it outside to a specific place, right? They don't want to ruin their bar that they like. They want to fight, duke it out, and then hopefully not go to the hospital and go back in and wipe off, whatever. And so it's the same idea. You need to pick a place to fight. And that's all that horizontals are. It's where people are fighting. That's literally it's the battle. Okay, and that's why price accelerates once it gets over it. Is because the battle was won. Bulls got it. Battle's done. And so in that moment, the bears so you are both a bull and a bear, whether you like it or not. Well, hopefully you are. If you're not, then you're doing something very wrong. And that's a quote from one of my VIPs very recently. I was like, man, I'm so glad you said that. Like, it takes a lot of years to realize, for me it did. People always talk about the bulls and bears like it's other people. Like, no, you are both. And then you can be one 10 seconds and then the other 10 seconds, or you can be both at the same time on different coins, right? So, but a lot of times here, that's when the bears give up and they flip bullish. And so so not only does the sell pressure in this moment instantly, so let's go like this. So you can visualize what's happening here at these breakouts. I mean, this is literally what's happening. So in this moment of the breakout, so throughout this whole area right here, these candles, you know, the size of the pressure was about equal over here, right? Through this area. But what happened here, once the battle seemed to be won, especially after that support. So here you had no, here, this was not used as support. When it came to try to use that as support, it did a lower high, broke through. So it's not a coincidence that the bulls or the bears did not give up until price both got above it and used it as support, closed 2 green candles. So this is the 3 candle trick. Community members, you know what I'm talking about. Here, that's the look, there it is again, right there. High or low, wait for 2 green candles that are neither tiny nor huge. Buy on the backfill of the third and on the third, the open of the third and any backfill. I call this the ankle. That's very valuable information if you can utilize it correctly. It's because it's so simple. But I typically do that on the 5-minute chart, not the 1 hour, but this is perfect. And the bears gave up. So what happened right there, so you can visualize this before I show you like the simple stuff, is at that moment, a lot of the people who were the sellers, right? They not only, many of that group just turned into what I call a sideliner. They stopped selling, but they're not buying either. So many within this group, the seller group, it shrinks. And where did those people go? They became sideliners. But also within that group, some that shrinks even more because not all of the sellers who left selling, not all of them went to be a sideliner. What did the other portion of them do? Besides get liquidated with no stops. They flipped to being a buyer. So this went like that, but it happened simultaneously. So it goes from equal and then just totally different because the red shrinks and the green expands simultaneously. That's what causes these explosions, and that's why it happens. It's a battle. It's a bar fight outside, not in your favorite bar. Okay. And for anybody with alcohol problems or previous alcohol problems, I apologize. I'm also previously in that boat. And my sober birthday is 26th of April. All right. Sobriety birthday. All right. So I should probably think of better analogies, but it's a really good analogy. All right. All right. So here we go. Check this out. This is visually, now that we have the context, what we're looking at. You have this horizontal, that is key. Okay. So the horizontal over here was about there, but it exploded a little earlier, but we'll take a look at that here in a second. So here it exploded from the horizontal, but the relative strength is not truly super strong, all right, in a breakout, unless you can also look left, just like we did for the horizontal, but you connect the tiny micro local highs and draw a line. That has to be passed in order for the move to have a chance or a strong chance to keep going. That is a requirement. You have to get above what I call this triangle. And if you can't escape that triangle, then you're very likely going to be looking for lower highs. Even though it's a bullish move, once you get a lower high, then you might want to start getting short because you're going to have to pull back to this horizontal in order to try to get above this line. Okay, so here we can see the first strong breakout. What did it do? It got above the horizontal, busted above this one too, and landed here. But let's do the same thing over here, and this will show you what relative strength is from a different perspective. More like this. Horizontal is up a little higher here. And here's why I was trying to trade short inside of a good move. And honestly, I did a very good job. You saw my P&L, besides one bad trade. Gave 40% of it back. But this is why I can do this. Because I can visualize this crap and I could see strength. I can see momentum. I can see relative strength. I can see, but I can see it because I know how to put obvious things on the chart. No. I know how to put things on the chart so it becomes obvious. So it's almost like putting on glasses or contacts. you can't see well until you put them on. That's what this shit is. I keep going the wrong direction. It's like the Scarecrow and the Wizard of Oz. Which way do I go? Or Dorothy, which way do I go? Right? I just start pointing like this for now on, like this over here. Flap my wings. We represent the lollipop girl. All right, anyway, for YouTube, I can goof around a little bit. All right, so now let's zoom out. What is the difference? It's huge. This is in the yellow box or in the yellow triangle. This is not. It got through it. So the relative strength is obviously decreasing big time. So it kind of looks like we need a higher low, not to this low. We need a higher low to that low. That's kind of what, or maybe even to this one. I'm not for sure. So what I'm kind of looking for here is before Bitcoin has a solid chance to go to 33K, even though it actually does still have an okay chance, but without pulling back. I'm thinking the same concept. Instead of coming from a high 45-degree angle, I'm going from a low 45-degree angle. Look left, same concept. Where's the major horizontals? About right here. That aligns with this. Okay, perfect. And I'm looking for a pullback to 21K. I would not be surprised, though, because of the bullish momentum of Bitcoin, I would not be surprised if it made itself happy and recruited enough buy pressure, convinced enough people to be buyers by forming a higher low here, a higher low to this one and to this one. High, higher low, higher high, higher low. That is possible. So essentially what this would be, if it does stop at this exact area right here, that's an acceptable higher low. However, within the greater big move from way back here, we still technically don't have a 45-degree angle higher low to this, and it will happen. It will. Like, it is guaranteed. However, it could take a year if Bitcoin goes straight to 40K, and then it would just hit that 45-degree angle line like 6 months later at like 28 or 30K, or maybe even 33. You would just extend it and go higher and higher and higher, but it will be hit no matter what. So the one down here, it will be hit, but it doesn't have to be very low. Bitcoin can keep going up for 2 months and then hit it, right? So it doesn't mean it's got to hit 19 or 20. It doesn't have to hit this over here, right? But it does have to hit the projector tool 45-degree angle. It will happen, okay? It is a guarantee. Just like stochastics, it is a guarantee that on any time frame, your stochastics will eventually go all the way down. Or it is a guarantee that stochastics, unless something like isn't traded anymore, it gets delisted, right? So that's technically, there are no guarantees. Close enough to a guarantee, very close to a guarantee. There are moments where, let's see here, let me make myself small. There are moments when price with this tool, it does take a long time to do it, right? Okay. So it's not an ultimatum in terms of like it has to happen immediately, but it does have to happen in general, right? So there isn't a time restriction on that. Okay. Now, so essentially what you can do with current price, if you want to run your own analysis, I'm trying to show you how to do this yourself. Like you copy this, like go back, rewind, like copy this stuff, like literally make it the same. I mean, here. Watch, I'll even give you like almost exact levels. Replicate that. And then after you do it, if you don't really like it, right, you can just go to your object tree, which can you see, oh, pointed the wrong way again. That thing right there. See that guy? Boom. You just click the top one, whatever's on top, hit this thing up here. Now hit the second one. Let go of all the things. Now hold shift down, click something lower. The bottom one, right? Before it runs into other stuff. Here, let me move myself. Click the bottom one. Now it highlights all of them. Drag it in until you see a blue line. So no blue line, yes blue line, no, yes, boom. Like that. Like that. All right. And so you can just get rid of it. You don't have to have other charts. Just bam. free information. This shit we're doing in the community. If you like what you see, links below. I'm telling you, like, you're really missing out. When I first created my community, I wasn't prepared for it. Because essentially the viewers forced me to create a community. It was for my friends. Like, I was making crypto videos so my friends that I knew in real life on Facebook, they could see how to, a lot of the altcoins were hitting the daily 89 on pullbacks, sometimes like 70% pullbacks, and before it ripped back up in the bull run of 2021, right? From February to April, essentially, of 2021. And so I was showing them how to do it, and we were killing it. Like, it was, especially with BPro, right? Because we pumped it as a small group and got it on the top gainers list for 2 days straight. Then one of the largest crypto YouTubers talked about it, which was my entire goal, and it went up. Then we didn't have to buy anymore. We did very well. All we wanted to do is get it, because many YouTubers, their whole thing is they follow momentum. So it's actually smart. They follow momentum of what's hot that day. I don't. I tell you what I think you need to know. I'm not going to tell you what you want to know. And that's, YouTube algo doesn't honestly like that, but it is what it is. It really doesn't like it. It wants me to tell you what you want to hear. It wants me to tell you your altcoins will not go down 95% from its top. But who am I? I'm the only person you saw on crypto YouTube warning you about that in 2021. Look at all the videos down below. It says the 12 times I tried to warn you. If you don't believe me, look at the Solana one. That's the most impressive one. Look at the Solana one. You did not see any other crypto YouTubers. Well, there were a few, but they're very rare, right? And the crypto YouTubers who were actually giving the right information, they were being punished by the YouTube algorithm. It's really a shame, but that's what the YouTube algorithm is. And that's why oftentimes the largest accounts can, whatever. I'm going to say something I shouldn't say. So let me shut up there. All right, but I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. Sorry. I'm going to try to help you stay safe and potentially over time, after you practice, then make money. But don't expect to make money first, because if you do, if you're trying to learn how to do this stuff and your goal, if your mindset and the reason you're doing it is to make money now, you'll lose all your money. You can't do it. You need to go to the driving range first for several weeks, if not months, probably months, before you can go on the golf course. So you're not just tearing it up, right? You'll tear up your account. You'll tear up your bank account or your whatever. Just like you'll tear up a golf course if you don't know how to golf, right? Like, don't do it. It's stupid. It really is. But it's smart if you do it with small amounts of money, right? Even because if you don't use your real money, then you're missing out on 70% of what trading is the emotions. Green, red, winning, losing. How do I react? Paper trading, you don't get that. Paper trading, I don't suggest. Just use like $15 or $20 and learn how to trade with that, because you'll get the same emotional stimulus training. Paper trading, I strongly suggest against it. Even if it's only 10 of your real dollars, it means something and it will stimulate emotional responses. You have to have that. It is 70, like, honestly, it might be 85% of trading. Trading is so easy, like, if you just allow it to be, right? But what makes it hard is the emotional training part. So anyway, more tidbits for you, more nuggets of information that you're missing out. Free YouTube. Anyway, so that's the BT price analysis. I am looking for a pullback to roughly to the 21K level, but I would be satisfied with the higher low in this area here as well. Okay, I would be prepared to be long once again here, but I would also be prepared to start taking profit once it hits that line again, right? As we just saw. So I don't know which one it's going to be. Hell, it could turn around here and go, but I will know if it crosses this line, it's getting ready to do something pretty big. So essentially you're going to have another triangle up here. And if it lives in this triangle, that means yet again, the same thing's happening. Relative strength is still reducing. I'm looking for lower highs. That's it. Am I aggressively short looking for a home run? No. Oh, I did once and I regretted it. But I'm looking for little singles, as you saw, like $14 here, $7 here. But if you do that 20 times in a day, it adds up, right? And I switch between long and short. So the analysis, honestly, I cannot give you, I'm not confident in the exact pullback, or if it's going to pump up one more time to hit this trend line. I don't think really, you need to be prepared for both. I'm not for sure exactly where it's going to go. Even though on a lot of videos, I could tell you, like, this is where it's going. It's a little uncertain right now. And so what that means is, instead of thinking, oh, crypto YouTuber should tell me exactly where it's going, pick a side. No, actually, it's some of the times that I've lost the most money trading is when I trade, when I don't have an edge Or direction is just not certain because FOMC is in 3 days. So price just goes sideways. It goes bip, 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 right? Takes out longs, takes out shorts, takes out longs, takes out shorts. FOMC does it even more and then goes one direction, right? Stuff like that. And so this is kind of one of those moments. It looks like the market is in a holding pattern, a bullish holding pattern, right? And it's going to decide, where are we pulling back? 21 or 22.6? Yep, 22.6 or 21. I'm a weatherman over here. I'm getting kind of good at it if I can point the right direction at least. All right, so I'm happy with those, but also I'm looking for potentially not much of a pullback and it just wicks up in here again, right? And if it starts breaking above, then I'm going to have to flip bullish, particularly on altcoins that have not seen that rush up, because once Bitcoin gets above here, it will probably accelerate. And altcoins that had not been seeing this type of, like did not see the small move from here to here, if that were to happen, once Bitcoin gets above that area, they will fly. So that I probably wouldn't long Bitcoin, but I would look for something that was in a nice bullish posturing that had not exploded yet. And that's what I would go after. Okay. This is not financial advice. I just told you what I would do. What you do with that information is up to you. Just stay safe. Don't overtrade, and definitely set your stops and don't move them farther out of profit. All right. And that is the BTC analysis part. Now we got the crap carpet. So I have a sticker here, and it's an interesting story. It's not, I went to the dentist, got my cleaning today, and first one in 10 years. No, 9.5 years. It was like 2013. No, it was 2012. No, it was 11 years. I told them 10. That was in Fort Wayne then. Huh. Yeah, it's been 11 years. Anyway, I told her 10. And she was cleaning my teeth. She goes, wow, I cannot believe it's been 10 years since you've been to the dentist. She goes, your teeth are beyond excellent. And she was even asking me, like, how? Like, what do you do? Do you use a power toothbrush? And there's a reason I'm telling you this. I'm not just telling you some goofy story without being, connecting it back to crypto to add some value. But with YouTuber hair, it's hard to have. I need to get the earbuds now that I got my nice YouTuber hair. Sorry that the thumbnail guy was not quite as handsome. The AI just couldn't quite get it right. I apologize. Anyway, so she asked me, what I do, and essentially the crap carpet is, I have 4 kids. I clean a lot of carpets and rugs, like a lot, especially in spring. I do it in spring and fall. After it's cold, like once it finally gets warm, and right before it gets cold. So I take them outside. I don't have a power washer, unfortunately. I really should have one. But so after a while doing it wrong many times, I'm trying to devise a method of like, how do I get this shit clean? Literally, like sometimes it was shit. Usually an animal shit though. I don't think I had too many 2-year-olds take a shit on my carpet. But maybe dirty diapers could do that. Anyway, so I took that idea from just cleaning carpets. And what I learned doing it wrong so many times and having to do it over again and watching YouTube, like, how do these people clean fucking rugs and stuff, right? And it's expensive. For like a 10 by 10 rug, they'll charge you like $600 to clean it. So that's a valuable skill set, like cutting hair. I learned how to cut hair so I can cut me and my boy's hair. I've saved thousands of dollars learning that small skill set. And it's enjoyable to learn, right? So I learned how to clean carpets so I could save a lot of money. Because it has some value to it, right? And so did a lot of research on how people do it. And the trick that what I was not doing right was rinse more water. You can't, so for example, if you have a stain on the carpet, you can't just pour soapy water on it and rub it and then leave it like that. Doesn't work. Maybe if it's a small stain, it will. You're essentially spreading. It's like taking red ink and putting droppers of white ink in it, and you're making it lighter, right? And it'll get turned pink, then it'll eventually look white, but there'll still be a little red in it, right? That's what you're doing. You're just rubbing shit in, literally, into the carpet. And so what these professionals do is they use much more, they use hot water, so I was already doing that. They use hot water, and they do a lot of rinsing. It's not just soap and rub it in. And after I did that, I realized, fuck, I'm brushing my teeth without rinsing a whole lot, and I'm using cold water. I wash my clothes in warm water or hot water, whites in hot water, most of the other clothes in warm. New black and red clothes maybe on cold, but dishes. Do you wash your dishes with cold water? I hope not. They're not gonna get clean, right? So why do I brush my teeth that way? Like, so I started using hot water a while ago and doing extra rinses. So before I put toothpaste in my mouth, well, I brush with just, hot water, rinse, and then I put toothpaste, and then I rinse with hot water. And that's why I was able to. And so these ladies, the hygienist and the dentist herself, they were literally quizzing me. I think one was taking, I don't know, she didn't take notes, but they were really curious. So what I was able to do there is I was able to take an experience from just life and apply it somewhere else. So in trading, right, when we were thinking of reinventing the wheel versus like coming up with new like sexy stuff, right, versus principled trading, you can use experiences such as, jumping on a trampoline, physics of the world. If you go higher, right, when you hit the support coming down, what happens? The fabric goes lower even though it was support. Will you bounce back above it? Yes, but you will dip below support. So it's very similar. I mean, we just saw an example of this actually. Which one was it? Oh, it was a different, okay. It was where it did support once and the other one it did not. Oh, it's right here. I moved the box. So for example, you can apply such simple other ideas that are not from dentistry, like, or not from trading, not from price, but you can apply it to trading. Let me show you, watch. Let's go to the 15-second candles, hopefully. Nope, too small. Now let's trace back. And here's an exact example of the trampoline. Hopefully. There it is. All right, perfect. So the first time, sorry, it didn't let me go back far enough on the frickin' 3 minute. So the trampoline idea, you can see right here, and you can actually be more profitable because of it. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Please go back far enough, you piece of crap. Yes, perfect. So let's go right here. So this line, remember the bar fight? This area was the bar fight, right? This area was the bar fight. And when it came here, let's zoom way in. Only 2 5-minute candles checked this. But there was no actual hump in like this, right? There was no oscillation on it, no actual bouncing. Within 10 minutes, it touched it twice. That's kind of support, but it's, I don't know, it's like building half or a quarter of the foundation of a house. It doesn't work. So what happened when it came back to touch it? What happened? People didn't defend it. Why? Because it didn't use support. It was more of a test. Like, so that move up, maybe not a test, but like this move up was interpreted by those people as, you know what? I'm not confident when it comes back down here because we never proved this guy as support, right? So if you go up too high if you go up too high before proving something as support, when you come back down to it, that fabric will bend. Will you shoot back up eventually? Yeah, you will, because it's a trampoline. But if you go up too high too fast and you come back down, you will go below the fabric. So here's the fabric. Stayed below it for quite a while, actually. Must have been a really heavy price. Wow, it did. All right, let's go to a larger chart. Might help. There we go. Stayed under it for quite a while and then bounced. But what was the difference in the bounces? Well, the second time around, not only did it use this as support a lot more, but it used this as support in a full, let's zoom way in, it's a 15-minute oscillation. So 1, 2, like you got, yeah, so I call it 1, 2, yeah, so 2 oscillations were defended. So now what happens here is the buyers who were previously buyers, but they turned into sideliners or sellers, once they see that, and then they see a higher high, higher low on a small time frame, they turn back. they go from sideliners to green buyers. So buyers were convinced or recruited to buy based off of the defense of this plus higher high, higher low, right? So they proved it as support, and it didn't go up too high before proving it as support. You see that? Like, it didn't go like crazy. It just got above and more immediately retested it, recruited buyers, and then it became sustainable. So you can just take observations from life and apply it to, this stuff. Like, hell, I did crap carpet and I impressed dentists after 10 years. Like, I didn't actually expect it. I saw, I can never get it at because of the coffee stains. I thought they were going to say that, but no, they said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So, but it's all because I just took something simple, cleaning carpets, and applied it to my teeth. You can do this with this as well. Like, and so what I'm telling you about this is, what you'll see is these ideas that you apply, they won't necessarily, give you novel things, but it will help you see principled trading concepts in a way that it goes, bing, aha, now it makes sense. But if you can apply it from your personal experiences and you say, that seems to work, and you actually don't know, like, if it aligns with a principled trading, a trading principle, but I guarantee you there's a trading principle that already exists that you are connecting, but you're just not aware of it, right? So I would challenge you, as my public YouTube folks, don't hesitate to try to apply things, particularly, even how animals move, like movement of physical things. I swear it's very similar. Like price is kind of mechanical. It really is. It's so mechanical. And you got to see it that way. You can apply things. All right. So that would be my challenge to you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like this type of content, I have plenty more also on the Discord and the YouTube tier community. Links to that and what it means and visual instructions on how to join. But more importantly, what you're going to get, descriptions of it. If you want to check it out before I take your money, if you click the button, it just instantly takes your money. No. There's a video. One of the links down there is a video of what is the YouTube tier and how is it different from the group, from the community, all that good stuff. So we'll see you next time, public YouTube.